So phase two of the move south saw me leave from Hole in the Wall at Jervis Bay, head back north for a small period of time, and then pick a point outside the heads, and then move to a waypoint that will allow me to head in a southwest or south-southwest direction all the way down to Batemans Bay. Now, Batemans Bay, I came into the bay area there on the north side of the Tollgate Islands. They're quite distinguished, so they're easy to see. There are some lead lights in here as well that you can pick up on, which are quite helpful. I then moved into a courtesy mooring that has been set up behind Snapper Island here, and learned a very valuable lesson. Don't stay on that for too long, because I attempted to stay on that overnight and got the incredible roll as the east southeast swell was coming in, was just wrapping around this shallow water contour line and beam onto the boat, and it was just a horrible night. So the next day I then decided to shoot across to Square Head, and thinking that I'd been told actually not to attempt the bar by Marine Rescue Batemans Bay, because they felt that at 1.9 metres I drew too much water. And if you have a look at some of the chart datum points around here, they're pretty low, down to half a metre or 0.7 of a metre. But I was over there for 24 hours. I watched the boat come in, and I made a decision that, yep, I can get across that bar. So I came back across the bay and picked up the lead marks, and then made my entrance down across the bar, very uneventful, that was good, and laid up in the marina for a couple of days. Then picked a time when I was going to leave again, so headed back out via the bar, and there was only a small amount of swell rolling, probably only half a metre, and then proceeded to head back out to sea again, with the Tollgate Islands on my northern side and Black Rock on my southern side. I then picked a waypoint down the coast, which was off Narooma down here, and from that waypoint I then took another waypoint down here, which was in between Montague Island and the mainland. And then the final leg of that passage was all the way down to Bermagui, and I got into Bermagui in the late afternoon on a low tide. Unfortunately, wasn't my preferred option, but got in on a low tide, and then came up to the T wharf there and just tied off the wharf for a couple of days to then prepare for phase 3. En route to Batemans Bay, probably maybe close to 7 to 10 miles offshore at the moment, so it just gives you a bit of an idea of nothingness, and you can take it all in out here. It's just beautiful, and I've been waiting for this, and hopefully you can see that. That's a bit of the northeast wind coming in just on the surface of the water, but I've been waiting for that to propel me along. But the current's going incredibly strong. I've got the engine on at relatively low revs, and she's doing nearly 7.5 knots. Yeah, so give you a bit of an idea of this morning. Saying the passage should take me about 6.5 hours. I'm about an hour into it now. Jervis Bay looks a long way away. Beautiful swell out here. It would have to be at least 3 metres, but it's beautiful, rolling, big waves. No real heavy, confused seas. It's all coming from the northeast, which is just lovely. So it just makes for a really nice day sailing, and the winds will pick up northeast all the way down to Batemans Bay. So hopefully I'll have a really fast passage down there, get into Batemans Bay and find somewhere to hide for 3 days while the big southerly comes through and stirs everything up. Magic. Get off your couch. So here we are, we've just crossed the Batemans Bay bar at high tide. Actually had 4.4 metres under the boat, under the boat. They made me really worry about that for the last 2 days, but marine rescue. But this morning we were getting battered over on the other side there. It doesn't look too bad now, but it was terrible over there. And anyway, I've just made through the bar. There's even a ripple there, so feeling pretty good about that. So we're going to take ourselves down to the marina now and see if I can't pull up a berth down there. Okay, just finally prepping the boat to head out through the bar at Batemans Bay. It's about 45 minutes before high tide, but I think on the rule of 12, the last hour is a pretty slow rise anyway, so I've got most of the height that I need now. I've watched 2 other smaller yachts go out, so I'm going to take it while the wind's slightly offshore and the bar's very smooth. I'm going to take a run out now, so I'll show you on my passage out via the bar, and we'll see how that goes. En route to Bermagui, should be maybe 6 hours. Down to there, there's a slight southeast wind, about 10 up to 15 knots. So I'll have the main out heading down the coast. So here's departing the marina. And just going out by the boat wall. Channel out of Batemans Bay now, I should say, and it's a very narrow channel, and I've been waiting for close to high tide. The channel's 9 metres, but the bar can be, datum is 0.9, so I think I've got about 1.3 underneath me, so I've got 2.2. I draw 1.9, but I'm taking it now because it's no wind, no swell, and it just looks terrific. So I think we'll be right heading over that way. Saying goodbye to Batemans Bay now, staying at the marina just behind there. It was really quite nice, quite comfortable, out of the terrible weather that I had 2 days in. It was just unreal. Anyway, get off your couch, don't drink pina coladas, and come sailing. So I'm having breakfast whilst I'm underway. healthy breakfast there. It's a bit rough out here today. It was all the effort to go down and just prepare some breakfast, but heading south now. The winds were supposed to be 6 knots from the southeast. It's blowing 15 knots from the south, so and probably a 1.5 to 2 metre plus swell from the east. So yeah, hopefully, and very overcast and rainy here at the moment, so hopefully conditions will improve somewhat coming towards lunchtime. Okay, I'll enjoy my breakfast. So it's about 8 knot breeze at the moment. Just coming from the southeast, which is nice. Swung around from the south. Much more pleasant day. Montague Island just off the port bow. You probably can't see it yet, but not far away. Just do a walk forward so you can have a look at momentum underway. So I've got some safety lines there, and also a preventer just to make sure that it's safe while I'm underway. And that's the view from the front of the boat. Aiming to go between the Rooma and Montague Island. There's momentum on the sail. Just handling this quite comfortable. And she's doing a good 7 knots at the moment. So this is passing Narooma now, and it looks really quite stunning and beautiful day. Beautiful afternoon. On target to make Bermagui right on low tide. So I should have 2.3 is their shallowest water part, and there's a 0.7 low tide, so I should have a good metre under the boat to get through. Well, this should be interesting. I don't like making bars at low tide, but it was either low tide at Batemans Bay that wouldn't work, but Bermagui low tide I should have a good metre under the boat coming through. So let's see how we go. A little bit of surge there, not much, just a little bit coming around the point. Let's get ready now to come alongside on the end of the T-wharf, and that should be it. We'll check the boat once we've come alongside. So I spent 2 really lovely days tied up in Bermagui on the end of the T-wharf, which is the actual fuel wharf there, and it's such a beautiful place to stay. You could stay a lot longer if you really wanted to, but I was looking for that northeast window, which took a couple of days to come through, so I could head further south to Eden and then on to Gabo Island and then across the Tasman onto the east coast of Tasmania. So that'll be coming up in the next episode, and we'll look forward to seeing you then.